Welcome to episode 58 of Build Your House Yourself University by BYHYU. I'm Michelle Nelson, your host and fellow student, and together we'll learn the basics of home design and construction and demystify the building process so we can build quality dream homes with or without a general contractor. Even if you want a simple home without over-the-top features, adding surprising or unique elements will make your home more interesting and distinctive. I believe that all homes should have some degree of wow factor, things that make your house different from your neighbors. So, in this week's mini lesson, we'll cover a list of potential wow factor features that you can include in your house. But only consider adding those things that resonate with you. Don't feel any pressure to add something just because it's on trend, impressive, or popular. Before embarking on our list of wow factor features, let's first define wow factor, our pro term this week. Wow factor is defined as a striking or impressive feature, a quality that something has of being very impactful or surprising to people. Distinctive appeal, something that you can do or include that exceeds expectations, something that makes your house stand out from the rest. Wow factor often evokes an emotion or reaction, whether that's a gasp, happiness, surprise, a smile, or a sense of tranquility or excitement. Wow factor will make people literally say or think, wow. Now, let's talk about some things that we can do or include in our homes to create wow factor. Number 1, decorating utilitarian rooms. That is, functional, practical rooms, like the laundry room, the mud room, or the powder room. Rooms where you usually go to do your business and leave. You don't typically put much thought into decorating rooms where you don't spend much time hanging out. Most homes include only functional items and appliances in those spaces. But in addition to the useful, practical things like the washer and dryer in the laundry room or the toilet and sink in the powder room, adding some beautiful or playful decor can create wow factor. Thoughtful decor in those spaces is unexpected. Not only will decorating these rooms add wow factor for visitors, but for you and your family. True enough, you don't spend hours per day in those spaces, but you do use them on a regular basis. So wouldn't it be nice to add a bold paint color or dramatic wallpaper or fun artwork or photos to those spaces? Since these are small areas, you can get away with dramatic or playful decor without it feeling too overwhelming. In a smaller space like a powder room or mud room, that bold or playful decor can be a nice departure from the more formal, subdued areas of your home. Go for it. Bling out your powder room with glamorous wallpaper, a matte brass faucet, and a mini chandelier. Or paint your laundry room with a fun, bright color. Or decorate with a sports theme in your mudroom. Do something in those rooms that you wouldn't dare do in a larger room in your house. For ideas about practical features that you can include in your mudroom, take a listen to episode 43 called 14 Unexpected Features to Include in Your Family Foyer, the mudroom. Another wow factor that you can include in your house is number 2, large windows or glass doors. Large windows bring the outdoors in and make your house feel more expansive and connected to nature. Those windows also add lots of natural light, which brightens your space. Windows are especially wow-inspiring if you have a decent view. And it doesn't have to be a view of a lake or mountains. Using windows to frame even a nice view of your backyard adds lots of appeal. If it's in your budget, adding large sliding glass doors that can stay open during nice weather can really bring on the wow. Those doors can help blur the line between indoor and outdoor living and entertaining. Being able to seamlessly move from inside to outside creates wow factor by exceeding typical expectations. Number 3, themed or unique bedrooms. Have you ever gone to a model house, open house, or show house and skipped looking at some of the bedrooms because you knew what you would find? A king or queen-sized bed, a window or two, and a dresser. Yeah, that's not very interesting. Most people and designers think about creating master bedrooms with wow factor. But the other bedrooms are often forgotten. Do something unexpected. Make one of the other bedrooms a bunk room for your kids and their cousins or your grandchildren. Put 2 twin beds instead of one large king bed inside one of the bedrooms. Add a window seat, built-in bookcases, or give the room a distinct pop of color or a nautical feel. Just do something more interesting than just adding a bed and a dresser. Number 4, unique ceilings. Ceilings can be some of the most boring, uninspiring features in your home. But if you just give them a little extra thought, your ceilings can add tons of impact. Higher ceilings can create more of a wow factor than standard 8-foot ceilings. Or you could add a contrasting paint color or even wallpaper to your ceilings. Placing tongue-and-groove wood planks on your ceiling adds interest and texture. While you're planning the design of your house, consider incorporating vaulted ceilings or curved barrel vaulted ceilings. They can make an otherwise ordinary space look really unique. You can also design kitchens, living rooms, and bedrooms with coffered ceilings. Coffered ceilings are ceilings with connecting beams, usually in the shape of squares or rectangles. The beams look like interconnecting boxes. Coffer actually means sunken panel because after adding those squared beams, the actual ceiling drywall looks like it's sunken or indented. Take a look at the show notes at BYHYU.com to see an example of a coffered ceiling. Number 5, oversized or statement lighting fixtures. Back in the day, lighting was pretty simple and modest. It was functional more than it was decorative. You might have seen a shiny chandelier in the entryway or dining room, but lighting really wasn't what it is today. Lighting fixtures today are often focal points. It's not unusual to see chandeliers in every major room of a house, plus in the master closet and master bathroom. Lighting fixtures can definitely add the wow factor to your house, especially if they're a bit oversized or if you cluster several pendants or smaller chandeliers together. You can add wow by choosing unusual shapes and finishes. Think of the lighting fixtures of a room as the room's jewelry. Another element that can act as the room's jewelry is hardware, which brings us to number 6, unique hardware. You could use standard drawer and cabinet pulls that are so understated that you can hardly notice them. Or you could choose hardware to create wow factor. Consider handles that are substantial in size and with an unexpected finish, like brushed brass or bronze. Instead of choosing run-of-the-mill round knobs, go for square or hexagonal knobs. To add wow factor to cabinetry, choose cabinet hardware that's prominent and unique. Number 7, oversized artwork or photographs. Very large paintings and photos are more impactful than your typical 24 by 24 inch painting or 8 by 10 photo. If you want to add impact with smaller photos or paintings, consider a gallery wall, which we'll talk about in a moment. But including one huge piece of artwork on the wall makes quite a statement. The sheer scale of an oversized picture is enough to create wow factor. It almost doesn't matter what type of art or what type of photo you use. You could enlarge a black and white photo taken during a family vacation. Or you could personally create a large abstract painting with an extra large canvas and paint that you purchase from your local arts and crafts store. Whatever you choose, make it big and bold and something that has some meaning to you and your family. Number 8, architectural interest. I think a house should be interesting even when it's empty, without any furniture or art. Adding unique architectural elements to the home's interior adds wow factor. Think of built-in shelving, curved walls, moldings, and unique doors, like barn doors. These things make the structure of the house so beautiful that anything else that you put in the house is just icing on the cake. Number 9, unconventional flooring patterns. Most people want hardwood and/or tile flooring in at least some of the rooms of the house. But you can add some wow factor to flooring by using conventional materials in unconventional sizes and patterns. Using wide planks of hardwood instead of standard 2 1/4-inch planks will make the hardwood floor less boring. And laying the planks on a diagonal or in a herringbone or chevron pattern is unexpected and wow-inspiring. The same with tile. Using larger scale tile and unusual patterns makes tile so much more interesting. Take a look at the show notes for examples of different patterns that you can incorporate in your flooring. And number 10, feature walls. There's no harm in having all the walls in a room look similar, but that doesn't add much of a wow factor. Including a feature wall in some of your rooms is where the wow comes in. A feature wall can be achieved in a variety of ways. You can paint one wall a contrasting color, or you can paint one or several bold stripes on the wall. You can add barnwood or shiplap. You can add natural stone tile from ceiling to floor, or you can add wallpaper to just one wall. Finally, you can create a gallery wall. For a gallery wall, display an eclectic mix of pictures, mirrors, or clocks. Highlighting one wall in a room with color, pattern, or texture adds wow. Although your home's wow factor will often be impressive to your guests, you shouldn't just include these features for visitors. You should be wowed, happy, calmed, or excited by the spaces in your home. So include things that are awe-inspiring to you and that make you say or think, wow. If you know someone who's planning on building, flipping, or remodeling a house, and you think this episode would benefit them, you can share it. You can also share the show with your friends on social media. Just look for the share icon. In iTunes, the share icon is at the bottom left of the screen. And if you're listening on the website, look for the 3 small circles within a circle towards the right of the podcast player. Sharing will hopefully help your friends, and it will also help the show. So thank you in advance. All right, let's move on to our quiz. Number 1, what is true about wow factor? A, it invokes an emotion or reaction. B, it comes from features that are impressive. C, it comes from features that are unexpected. D, it makes a house stand out from the rest. Or E, all of the above. I know you know this one. The answer is E, all of the above. Question number 2, true or false? Standard 8-foot-high flat ceilings that are painted the same color as the walls add a wow factor to most homes. That is false. Standard 8-foot-high flat ceilings are expected and therefore don't typically add a wow factor. Wow factor can be added to ceilings by raising them to 9 or 10 feet, or by painting the ceiling a contrasting color, or adding wallpaper or wood planks or beams, or by vaulting the ceiling. Number 3, how do you add interest and wow factor to hardwood floors? The answer? You use wide planks and unique patterns like herringbone or chevron patterns. You can also put the planks on a diagonal. Please remember that the purpose of this podcast is simply to educate and inform. It's not a substitute for professional advice. The information that you hear is based only on the opinions, research, and experiences of my guests and myself. That information might be incomplete, it's subject to change, and it may not apply to your project. In addition, building codes and requirements vary from region to region, so always consult a professional about specific recommendations for your home. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Let's do it again next week. Come back for another episode of Build Your House Yourself University. BYHYU. Talk to you later.